Welcome to the Libra Lounge with Keisha podcast. I'm your host, Keisha. I'm over here with producer James.
Hey.
And happy New Year's Eve. Oh, shit.
Happy Christmas
Christmas Eve.
Eve.
No, actually, the show is being recorded tonight, but when it's published, it'll be New Year's Eve.
Oh,
We're just all fucked up.
Time warp.
Yes, this is what happens when you record the day before and you're trying to talk about things as if they are the day of the recording goes out. This happens quite often. So
I thought we were professionals.
no, I never think that. I'm reminded all the time that we are very much so not professionals. So, I done. We're done with all of our Christmas shopping.
Yes.
Lord, please let us be done. Okay.
Well, if we're not done, whoever don't get nothing wasn't loved anyway.
I'm not gonna say all that. It's just you got forgotten. And I don't think anyone's been forgotten.
No,
I think yeah. So, anywho, last
y'all
week
did break all the rules though.
Yeah, this year we decided to do pull the names for basically
The adults.
the adults in the family, which includes myself, James, my mom, my two brothers, their significant others, my daughter, and her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, have we just...
Y'all fucked it all up.
Yeah, people started telling people who they had. People started buying for people they weren't supposed to buy for.
Yep.
It has been like a clusterfuck. But I did still save money because I didn't buy for everybody. But I still bought for more than I should have bought for.
Exactly.
So, I mean, hey, we saved in that aspect. But we're just not good secret keepers around here.
No.
We're just, especially when it comes to look what I got you. But I've done good because I have not showed the person who I pulled what they have gotten. It has not been found. So I think I'm sitting pretty with that.
Well, good.
Yeah, so we'll see if they like it. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, whatever. It's the thought that really counts, right? We had a $50 limit.
Yep.
Which that is hard to stick to.
Yeah.
For me, it's hard for me to stick to that.
Yeah, for you, it's really hard.
Because I love to buy gifts.
Yes.
I love to do that. But I tell you what I bought was exactly $50.69. And I'm like, damn, okay. It was like right there. I was impressed. Yeah. Hopefully the person likes what they got. So last week, I can't remember what I was going to go look for. I think just any last minute ideas of anything, like kind of what is it?
Stocking stuffer.
Stocking stuffer.
There you
go. I get bad with S's because of my lisp.
Yes.
Yes, I do. So you guys know, I think I've talked about this before. I love, one of my favorite perfumes is Glow by J.Lo. And I have been wearing it since Scholar was a little girl. Once you could buy it at the mall, now literally you can only buy it at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, or Ross. So TJ Maxx did not have any. So I was like, you know what? I'll go to this one Ross, because last time I went there, I got scored a big bottle of it. I'm going to go back to that same Ross and just hopefully they'll have it and just shop around a little bit. So I get there, score. There's the last big bottle of Glow by J.Lo. And then I found a little cute theme with the Santa plate with the little bottle of milk that you pour the milk in.
Oh, yeah.
For, Santa and his cookies and all that good stuff, right? So I take my sweet black ass, get in the line. The line is short, so I'm feeling really fucking confident. I'm feeling good, okay? So I get to the register, and the guy rings up my stuff. And let me tell you what, he had the audacity to ask me.
Uh-oh.
He says, ma'am, are you 55 or older?
No.
Bitch, where? Number one. And I'm like, where is your management? Because this motherfucker up here operating this cash register blind. He thinks I literally had to ask him, what did you just say? Because it didn't process at all. I'm like, huh? He kind of was a muff mouth a little bit too. So I heard him, but didn't hear him, and I damn sure didn't want to hear what he said. Yes, 55 or older.
Part of me wishes I was with you, and another big part, am glad I wasn't.
Well, all I know was I was really slow walking to the door because I wanted to see if he was going to ask the bitch after me the same damn question. It didn't help that she was clearly 70, but motherfucker, you better ask her too. Is she 55 or older?
You want to make sure it's a place that IDs everybody for cigarettes.
Are you shitting me right now? I've never been asked anything like that, period, point blank, ever in my life. I'm usually like, you're 45? No, what? I know, right? And he's 55
Or over.
or, oh,
Ooh.
y'all better come get this little boy because I'm about to fuck up the Christmas spirit in this whole damn Ross.
This goddamn Christmas temp is
I'm
gonna
like,
get
what
kicked
the?
out.
I was like, okay, bye. I was like, maybe I need to ask something. Anyway, if you're a friend of the Libra Lounge, which I hope that you are, it is time for the gab.
We know she has a really big mouth, which sounds kind of dirty, and that's probably true too. Let's gossip. The Gab with Keisha.
All right, so like I saw that, you know how I don't like when celebrities have to flex how much money they have by gifting to others. My thing is, if you're my rich friend and you gift me something, I don't need everyone to know that you gave that to me because then everyone knows I'm your poor friend, right? Like I can't live up to, your status. So Kimberly Noel Kardashian decides that she's going to give one of her good best friends a Tesla Cybertruck.
You sure it's a good friend?
I don't think that's a good friend because if you my friend and you buy me a vehicle that looks like an oven, we ain't gonna be friends for long. Like, what the fuck made you think that I want? And I have to think to myself, I have to wonder, did Kim give her the one that she has because it's trash and she doesn't want to drive it anymore? Like what? To me, if you are my friend, right? You want to gift me first. Like I said, it doesn't need to be on social media. But let me tell me how much money I can spend and let me go buy what I want to buy. Because maybe I didn't even want a new vehicle. Maybe I wanted to put a pool in my backyard. You know what I mean? Or let's say I did want or need a new vehicle. Can I pick out the one? You tell me, okay, bitch, we going in here, don't go over $62,000. Okay, bet. But I'm going to pick out the car that I want, the color that I want, all these things. And I don't think we need to take a fucking picture in front of it and post it on Instagram. Am I just wrong? I just rather you not give me nothing.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, I don't understand why rich people, like sometimes with celebrities, they, it's usually rappers and like people that are on Zeus network. They decide they're going to buy their mom the newest Mercedes. First of all, don't buy me shit that ain't paid for. Because if it's not paid off, you didn't buy it for me.
Don't give me a car payment or give me a mortgage.
Well, even if you're paying the car payment, if you lose your good job, that means I got to worry about this fucking car note. No, if you're giving it to me, that means I ain't got to worry about shit ever again. It's in my name. I got them papers in case I want to trade this hoe in. And I don't have to worry about somebody picking up my car because your Zeus network contract is now void. You know what I mean? Like, right. People don't, like, I remember one time it was like remember when Oprah decided everyone was going to get a car?
Oh, yeah.
But then you find out that people had to pay the taxes on the car.
Right.
And some of the people couldn't pay the tax. How do you know what I can afford? I met Oprah on these free Christmas episodes where she gives away the tickets for free. And you're telling me I have a car, but fuck, I'm barely making it, this was a free lunch and a good day for me. This was my Christmas gift coming here. And now you telling me I'm leaving with a car and a bill? That is just, and maybe.
Well, that was like, when they did a lot of those great big house remodels, like the Ty Pennington shows, like I think I remember seeing where they were getting in trouble because all of a sudden now their home values appraised for like way more than it was before.
Yeah.
And they couldn't pay the taxes and were getting foreclosed on.
Yeah, it's like people don't think it all the way through.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like when people go, oh, okay, I've got $100 million. I can afford a $50 million house. Yes, the house, the upkeep, the management. Yeah, you afford, and that's why. Because I used to always get confused when like celebrities were like they cannot afford their homes anymore, and I'm like, how? Like, how is this possible? But no, you didn't add in all the additions to that. Then yeah, like how Michael Jackson lost Never Neverland. How the fuck do you lose Never Neverland?
Because a goddamn.
How much it
amusement
takes?
park is
Yeah,
expensive.
to
just
maintain
to own and operate.
And plus, you got a monkey.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the monkey.
Yeah, people just don't. There's a word that they use. I'm not going to say the word, but it's N-word rich. It's how us black people do sometimes when we get a lot of money and we don't know how to manage our money. And we think we could just go buy this, buy that, not thinking about the taxes, the upkeep, the this, the that. No, if I ever become real rich, there's gonna be signs that I'm rich, but you're never gonna be able to tell how rich I am. Like maybe once a year I'll pop out and let y'all see how rich I am, and then I'm gonna pop back in. Like it's not gonna be consistent richness all the time. You just can't.
Right.
Okay, I'm totally fucking lying. If I ever get rich, James is gonna tell me we have half of what we actually have because he knows I'll blow through that shit. We've discussed this before. I'm not good with money. I'm like, oh, you got a bonus check. We are getting an appetizer, dessert, drinks. The people next to us, we're going to get their shit. I love to give when I have money.
Yes.
Like I will buy more for other people than I will for myself when I have extra money. A blessing and a curse just to be so angelic like in spirit like I am. So speaking of Kardashians, Khloe just came out with a new perfume. So I'm wondering how it smells. I don't know if I'm going to wait for Skylar to tell me how it smells or if I'm going to go to Ulta and smell it myself, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to smell like plastic surgery, broken dreams, and Tristan Thompson. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go around smelling like that. But anyway, she did this interview, and I was real confused because y'all know I was scrolling through TikTok. And sometimes there will be like an interview from many years ago. But it happened to be an interview where she's talking to the person who's interviewing her. And it may have been one of these website little interview things. What is so funny?
That's just so funny. You said so. She was being interviewed, and she was talking to the person interviewing her.
Yeah,
which is exactly how interviews work.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. So anyway, but it was showing a clip from like an older Kardashian episode that I'm like, wait a minute, this is weird, because in the clip it looks like the Khloe Kardashian that we know. Mm-hmm. But in the interview, I was like, how the fuck did Khloe Kardashian get her old face? No, it was this craziest thing because you know when you see certain things and it makes you, it's so odd, it makes you think you're tripping, like you take off your glasses and clean them a little bit and you like take an Advil, like maybe I have a bad headache and I'm seeing spots. It was one of those situations. And I'm like, what is going on? So of course I go right to the comments and I'm not the only one. Everyone's like, Khloe has her old nose back. This bitch uses filters on every single thing that she does.
You don't know what she really looks like.
You don't know what she looks like. She still looks like she could be OJ Simpson's other daughter during this interview. Like her nose is not as contoured. It's not. I'm like, how does she use filters as often on things that you would think you weren't able to use a filter for? But this interview said, we only got a small budget. We ain't about to do all that filter and shit. Either you want to do it or you don't, but you're going to have that same nose is what everyone's going to see when they see this interview. It was like a total mind fuck because she looked 10 years older. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Which I'm not saying is a good or a bad thing, but she actually looked like how she's supposed to look because sometimes we see her with that nose. I'm like, honey, get you a Q-tip and open up the nostrils a little bit so you can breathe. Like, what is going on? So I'm actually shocked that she even let that be aired.
I don't believe that anybody looks like they do unless I meet them face to face anymore. I don't think anyone looks like they really do.
Well, I think it was a couple of episodes ago we were talking about Nene Leakes and her using, filters. And, well, what we thought was too much plastic surgery. So one of our listeners, I cannot remember who it was, but hey, she sent me a DM. She's like, girl, I saw Nene Leakes and I think they were in Florida or something like that. And she goes, no, she looks really, really good. She goes, she looks great. She said, it's filters. She over filters her photos. And when she gets her makeup done, will ask the makeup artist for like extra contouring. And I'm like, she kind of looks a mess a little bit. But then she actually did record herself on a phone and posted it up. I'm like, okay, this makes much more sense. This is Nene's nose. When we saw her season 3 get that nose done, like this is the same nose. She hasn't gotten like 25 other nose surgeries. But I don't know why she filters her photos to make it look like that.
That's what everybody does.
I don't know, but I'm glad that listener told me because then I caught on and I'm like, okay, my girl is still my girl. She's not walking around with this nose look like it's made out of piece of paper. She's pointy and long and whatever. So speaking of housewives, Karen, the grand dame, was found guilty of like almost all of her driving while intoxicated. What do you call it?
It was a full-blown DUI, right?
Yeah. So she got found guilty. Now, why did she decide to take this to trial? I have no idea. I feel as her legal counsel, I mean, you have to do what your client tells you to do, but sometimes you like, okay.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Because when you found guilty, because you get found guilty, I can tell you that right now, you're going to get found guilty. I don't want my name to be under where it says Karen Huger's attorney was for Keisha Owens. No, the fuck I wasn't. I told this hoe, why are you taking this to trial? You're going to be found guilty. Now, we were fucking with her a little bit. I mean, we all knew she was guilty.
Right.
But you know, when it's someone you watch every week and you only hear their side of the story and their sob story, you just have this little tiny glimmer of hope that maybe they're a little bit innocent.
Yeah. Or maybe it's not as bad.
Not as bad.
Yeah.
Not as bad.
Yeah.
Oh, but baby, it was that bad and worse. Child, they released all the footage. I was like,
So they released, it was the video from her like being interrogated, right? After she
so
was arrested?
they started video recording it, the dash cam in the car.
Oh boy.
Okay, and they also, first of all, she cussed out the EMTs. She refused to take a breathalyzer. She was doing all of these things. So I just wanted to know a few key things that, you know, caught my attention that she says. Now, you guys know I'm horrible at imitations, but I'm going to try to do my best drunk Karen Huger. Now, the real star of this whole show was that wig. Girl, that wig looked like it was in a full-blown accident, got struck by a tree, was caught in between the tree and the car, got burned a little bit. It was horrible, and it was hanging like in the middle of her fucking head. I was like,
Grand Dame.
Grand Dame, who? So her wig is her wig looks so bad. The wig said, "Can you please go call the EMTs again? Because I do need to go to the hospital." Okay, so she's in the car.
Wow.
With this police officer. Now, why he has her in the front seat, I don't know. She probably forced him to do it, right? So she's like, "I'm Karen. They call me the Grand Dame." I don't know what the fuck this is all about. Andy Cohen gave me that name. The fucking police officer, who I'm assuming is a very straight white man, is like, what is a Andy Cohen? What is a Grand Dame? Like, no, I've never heard of this before. So then the next thing she says is, "Sorry, we recorded in our house. Dogs barks, babies run by. It just happened. So sorry."
Yep.
We've got Amazon drivers out there, so he's on patrol.
Oh yeah.
So the next thing she says is, "You know I hate you, right?" Bitch, what the fuck? You're in here cussing out me and my staff. We had to take a brief pause right there and put Captain Marvel outside because he went all Alex Haley Queen. I don't know if y'all seen that slave movie. Queen, when you have the slave child, the slave owner's child, and the slave child, and they tried to take her off the plantation. "That's my pappy's land. This my pappy land. This my land." That's what Marvel was doing to the Amazon drivers. Like, "This is my land. This is my daddy's land, my father's land. Get off my land." He's just going. He has been like in a tizzy for the last 2 or 3 weeks with all the Amazon drivers coming by. So anyway, back to Miss Huger. He tells these good people, hardworking people, I don't know if they're at the sheriff's station, the police station, whatever. She says, "You know I hate you, right?" I'm like, what did the staff do to you? Like, why? What is going on? So then at one point she's like, "Oh God, I'm lit." Bitch, that's why you here. Because you were too lit. So then she goes, "So what's your point, sir? I'm sorry, it's not you. I'm extremely intelligent. And I am Thomas Jefferson's concubine." Really? We going back to this?
Wow.
Is that real? Because you know when you're drunk, the truth comes out. Is that, there was rumors for years and years and years that, Karen had that side piece called Old Blue Eyes. Did y'all kind of do that like slave? There's like a section of porn that the slave owner kind of porn. Is that what y'all did? Because why the fuck are you saying you are Thomas Jefferson's concubine?
That's race play, by the way.
Race play. Whatever.
Race play.
Why would she say that?
She was fucking drunk.
Okay, when I'm drunk, Thomas Jefferson isn't on my mind.
I mean, that's a history class right there. Like,
yeah, like
that's how old she is, I guess.
Like Thomas Jefferson is just on your mind during a random drunk night. that is not the kind of white man that I think about.
Where was she coming from? Like a fucking museum or something?
No, she was coming from a fucking bar, clearly.
Was it like the Thomas Jefferson bar or something?
I mean, they are in Potomac, which is close to Washington, D.C., so maybe she saw a monument. Does Thomas Jefferson have a monument? I don't fucking know.
Maybe the bar was called the Founding Fathers. or
Maybe
something
it
like
was. I'm like, girl, at least get you Abraham Lincoln.
that. You want to talk about freedom?
Not this one. He loved having a concubine. He did say he is free.
Well, when he had to.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's what people forget.
did
He's
say
like,
they
yeah, they
had
said
to.
his slaves set their slaves free. Yeah,
When they had it to.
Yeah, after they won the war.
So the last one that I'm going to say is now going to be my answer to any and everything that James says to me. No matter if it is, do you want dinner? How are you doing? Do you need me to help you? Do you want to watch this TV show? Do you want to shut the fuck up? This is going to be my forever and ever and always response to everything that James says. And this is coming from the Grand Dame herself. You're poor and white.
Hang on. Let's just see if this works. Keish, could you take care of those dishes?
No, because you're poor and white.
Keisha, can you go vacuum the floor?
Don't you know you poor and white?
Would you stop being mean to me?
No, because you poor and white.
Okay, it works.
It works. It just works. When we
Good
get
for
back
every
from
occasion.
right, when we get back from this break, we're going to talk some more Potomac Housewives news and an update on the Amy Slayton case. Now, you guys know I don't usually get on here and talk about products, but I have to share with you an amazing product that I have been using since October. And I tell you, what they say they do is exactly what they do. I don't know if you ever heard of Hello Lash, but it is this great eyelash serum that I started using, I want to say the second to the last week of October. And here's why. So I don't know if I've told you guys, but years and years ago, I got really bad eyelash extensions and I ripped all of my eyelashes off. So I was completely bald, all right? I had to wait like a while before I could start getting actual good eyelash extensions. And I'm not gonna lie, I love my eyelash extensions, but sometimes they don't make your eyelashes become healthier. So I wanted to find a product, which is really hard, that I could still wear my lash extensions, but I was also using the product so that I could grow good and healthy eyelashes. And I finally found a product. It's called Hello Lash by Hello Skincare. It is a water-based lash serum. And when I tell you, 2 weeks ago, when I went to go get a refill, my eyelash tech actually said, oh my gosh, what are you doing to your lashes? There's so many new lashes. Yes. And I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? Because to me, this is what has happened. Since I've been using the serum, my eyelash refills are further in between. So usually I'm going every 2 weeks. And now I'm going on my third week right now because my lashes are so much stronger and healthier. Plus, I have been using these on my eyebrows as well. Yes, I have microbladed eyebrows, but I was like, what all of a sudden if like eyelash techs go out of business or like the microblading people say, I don't know, like we've been outbanned. What am I supposed to do? Walk around with no eyelashes and no eyebrows? So I've been using them on my eyebrows. And when I tell you, I screamed because I have actual eyebrows again. Like I'm not having to fill them up. Like I use a pomade just to give them extra color. I'm not even having to use that because I actually have hair on top of like the microblading. So I wanted to share this with you. You can follow Hello Skincare on Instagram, or you can go to their website. It is helloskincare.com, and you can use code LibraLounge20 and get 20% off of your one-time purchase. And I suggest you get the eyelash serum. Like if you want to gift this to someone, it's the perfect gift. And I've only been using it. So how many weeks has it been since like the second week of October?
About 8-9 weeks now.
So, okay. So they actually tell you that you start seeing results in 3 weeks and 6 to 9 weeks. You can really see results, and they're not kidding. Like it is legit down to the week that I have seen results. I mean, your eyelash tech usually tries to tell you, no, your eyelashes look bad because they want you to keep coming. But she's like, oh my God, look at your lashes. I'm like, the scream I scrump. So again, go to helloskincare.com and use code LibraLounge20 for 20% off your purchase.
The Libra Lounge with Keisha. The Libra Lounge with Keisha.
Welcome back to the Libra Lounge with Keisha podcast. If you are enjoying our podcast, make sure wherever you listen to us at, you leave a 5-star review. You can also hear me every Monday over on Pink Shape Podcast. We are breaking down a new season of Love during lockup. And if you like seeing a collection of dummies doing really stupid things, but behind bars and in the free world, you most definitely want to watch Love During Lockup and listen to our recap. All right, so here's this thing. So on the Housewife, there's always been this thing where you don't bring kids into anything. Okay. Now you could talk about people's mamas, you could talk about people's daddies, you could talk about people's dead parents if you want to, but the kids are always off limit, and it actually rolls into like the grown-up kids. It's like the kids have nothing to do with this, right? So on last week's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac, this is so weird because Mia, who is lying her way through a storyline, I'm like, where do the lies stop? She's lying her way through a storyline, and like, if there's even like a morsel of something that she thinks she can grab onto and make it bigger, that's what she's gonna do. So she charged up Giselle in front of the group by saying that when they were in, I can't remember where they went last year for their trip, Bermuda, that Giselle caught her daughters, who are teenage girls, sneaking a boy into the house. All right. And so Giselle's like, I caught them on the ring cam. And so what? I told you in confidence about this. Like, what's the big deal? So we all watched that and we're like, that's kind of sleazy that she's bringing the kids into it. But it turns out there was a lot more that was said, okay? To the point where Mia, who had the extreme audacity to say that Giselle's daughters were whores.
Oh,
And she said it multiple times. Okay. Wow. It was so bad that Mia and Giselle herself begged production to take it out, which
really?
Production did. They took it out, but somebody from production, leak, 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 they're pigeons over there, as they say on Roni, they're pigeons. Someone leaked it. And yeah, like, okay, when I was a teenage girl, I know the things that I was doing. I mean, you lose your fucking mind. Your hormones are out of control. Your body is becoming the body of a full-grown woman, even though you're still technically a child. And all you want to do is be around boys. I mean, even if you're not fucking the boys, you just want the boys around. It's something about smelling dick. You just want that dick smell around you when you're a teenage girl. You just do. You do. Even if you don't want to, even if you don't want it, you don't want it to touch you. You don't want to be by it or anything. And most of the time I didn't. But it's just something about that aroma, just something about that testosterone smell. You wanted to, it made you feel a different way. You just wanted to be around it, but I'm like, please don't touch me with that. Please don't touch me with that. Keep over there. I can smell it, but I don't want you to touch me with it. No body parts. No. I'm scared of it. I don't want to see it. No, what do they call it? The one-eyed monster.
Sure.
I'm like, I don't want to see that. I'm not ready for that, but I want to be around it. Like, your body is telling you you want to be around it. So yes, parents get upset when our kids sneak out, when they do this, but some things every teenager does it. I mean, did you ever sneak out of the house? Never mind.
No, I never snuck out. But I had a girl or two sneak in.
Okay, so same thing. Like,
Yeah, same thing.
it's just something you don't even understand what all is going on with your mind and with your body. So it is not a big deal when like, you're upset as a parent when you catch your kid doing, it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
But it's like, you think back, okay, well,
yeah, could be worse.
Yeah. So for her to call this out in front of the group as a way to make Giselle look bad is crazy to me. And I tell you what, you call my child a whore. It is an arson that is about to come down. Now we're talking about kids. Yeah, I'm going to talk about your one-arm kid. I'm going to talk about your pimple-faced kid. I'm going to talk about your kid. You don't know who the daddy is. Like, it is bring it on. You want to talk about kids? We're going to talk about kids. And you know me, I go for the jugular.
Yep.
I'm going to talk about the kids you had, you didn't have, you thought were yours. You don't know if it's his, you're not. Everything. Like, you don't call, and then you call the girls whores. It's like, did you catch them fucking 5 guys on the roof? Because that's the only way that they would be whores. You know what I mean? I just feel like when people bring kids into it, it's just that means no more rules.
Right.
So you can't be upset if someone comes for you. You know what I mean? And I personally think after this latest stunt, they shouldn't bring Mia back next season. She's told so many lies. None of her stories stick or anything. She's not bringing anything to the group. Like the season before, she did her big one. This season, it's like they try too hard, and then it's like, okay, this is kind of boring. Like, what exactly are you doing? But I tell you what's not boring was the fact that Amy Slayton from Thousand Pound Sisters pleaded guilty. She pleaded guilty with both her eyes.
Well, more or
One
less.
was looking at one piece of paper, the other one was looking at another piece of paper. She pled guilty to drug possession because we all know earlier this year she allegedly was bitten by a camel at a safari zoo. So when she got bit by the camel, she went in and had them call the paramedics, and I guess the police came and they could smell. I mean, that had to be some potent weed. They were able to smell it from the car. Okay.
Well, not just from the car, but smelling it over whatever the fuck Amy smells like on a daily basis.
Wait a minute. How about over a fucking zoo?
So we got Zoo and Amy.
Yeah.
That's some strong
That's
shit.
some potency. Like, I would be scared to even sniff any of that.
I think
like,
that's actually PCP.
I don't know.
I think it's weed.
They found weed and they found mushrooms and all of this stuff. So her boyfriend, I don't know if they're still together. They both got arrested. And they also got charged with, was it child endangerment because they had the drugs in the car and the kids were in the
something
car?
like that.
But they didn't say what happened with that charge.
I
I don't know if that charge got dropped.
I didn't see it either.
So anyway, so I think she has like 1,000 hours of community service. No, she has like $1,000 fine and 2 years probation, and she's permanently banned from that safari zoo. Now I want to know, did the camel get vindicated? Because, like, we still don't know if she was really attacked by this camel, because that man said that was not the teeth of his camel. That was the tooth mark on her. He said that wasn't his camel. He know his camel's teeth. He know his camel's bloodline. That was not the teeth marks from his camel. And I fucking kind of believe him.
I wonder if it was one of those. Well, a safari zoo. So like that
I
one.
want to think like you drive through them.
Yeah, like
No,
that one in
okay.
San Antonio.
Okay,
like
now-
they come up and eat out of your hand and shit.
Yes. Now, I will say this. We have done that twice before. That shit can't be scary.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing like passing by and you have a bucket of food and a fucking zebra and all its fucking teeth and gums are inside of your vehicle. And all you know, you damn near throw the whole bucket of food out. Okay? Yes. And then like
Oh, thanks, Mom. We only fed one animal.
yeah, like the ostrich, like they're very aggressive. Like
Oh,
if
yeah.
she would have said like an ostrich had pecked her, I would have been like, well,
I would
had
have
a-
believed that more than a camel.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I had a close experience myself. I had to use my child to fucking block the fucking ostrich. But a camel, I don't see a camel doing that.
So it's a $500 fine.
Okay.
And they did drop the child abuse and child endangerment charges. Those were dropped.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And then $500, that's something she could handle because we know she's not using it for like fashion.
You think she was crying?
When is that bitch not crying? That is like the stupidest thing to. You know what? She probably wasn't crying because here was a situation that we totally would have understood that why she should be crying. So of course she would not be crying.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, those Slayton girls. Okay, when we get back from this break, we're gonna have Thousand Pound Sister recap. Alrighty, we want to thank you guys for tuning in and for supporting us this year and sticking by us, and just hopefully we're going on to bigger and better things in 2025 with the Libra Lounge with Keisha podcast.
Yep.
Alrighty, so Thousand Pound Sisters and their families, the Slaytons, and then whatever the Combs and whatever other last names, they head to the UK.
Speaking of bigger and better.
Yeah, yeah, how about this? Tammy actually fit in the airplane seatbelt without using a seatbelt extender.
I can tell you, as somebody who did cross that line
Yeah.
when they were losing weight, that is an amazing feeling.
It's a huge accomplishment. And it also reminds me of the time that you had lost a little bit of weight and I was still real big and we were flying and you raised your hand and yelled and pointed and said, she needs a seatbelt extender. Hers isn't going to make it. She right here.
I just wanted you to be safe.
Row A19. She needs an extender. Right, thank you, right here, ma'am. Thanks. I wanted to fucking strangle you with that seatbelt extender. And I swore then, I said, I'm not getting back on another plane this fat. And I didn't.
No.
I did not. Because that, you don't got to embarrass me twice. So in true Thousand Pound Sisters fashions, they're at this nice hotel sitting in the lobby, and Amanda and her big Sasquatch looking ass breaks a fucking chair. Now here's the thing about it. she breaks the chair, which appears to be broken. I mean, it appears to really be broken. So Chris gets up. He's trying to figure out a way to maybe like it's maybe it's not broke, but like it got off the router or something like it's off the hinge or something like that. Anyway, he's trying to fucking fix it. This fucking aloof fool won't even get up. While
She's still sitting in the busted chair.
sitting in the busted chair while he's trying to like push it up, push it down, push it to the side. He finally like gets it back on track or whatever. I'm just like, how do you not get up? Maybe your ass sitting on it is the problem.
I think it was.
Yeah, that was the problem.
That's what started this whole thing.
If you had just gotten up, problem solved. I mean, even me, I still like have that chair breaking fear.
I do too.
Yeah,
Yep.
I still have it because I will never forget one time I was at the nail salon and I was pretty big and the fucking chair broke.
I'm that way with folding chairs.
I'm still that way with folding
scared.
chairs
like
too.
I'm all
Yeah.
gentle and sitting easy.
Yeah,
and
yeah. And I think I've discussed the fat fall because when I fell, I couldn't. When you're that fat, you can't just get up.
Oh no.
You can't twist around and pop up and do jazz fingers. It's
No,
like
you're a turtle.
yeah,
Wow.
like you getting up is more of a scene than when you fell down. Okay,
Falling's easy.
falling,
just
that's the
gravity.
easy part. Now you're down, facing embarrassment, out of breath, fearing for your life. You don't want them to call the fire department to help you get up. So you have got to find a way to scoot over to something for you to put your hand on so you can get up. Like
But you still want to get up as fast as you can.
but you don't.
But you can't.
You can't. It's just like this is a situation, and then you have to still sit there and get your fucking fingernails done.
And it's your nails.
You can't go with one hand done and the other hand wasn't done. And then of course there's, oh, you okay? Do you need anything? No, I need to fucking get.
No, I've had too much.
I've had too much. I need to get the fuck up out of here. Okay. So they decided to, which I was really proud of Tammy, because they decided to take the little red bus tour, which they thought that was the most wonderful thing ever in life that they've ever seen, which I guess,
Those are cool. The double deckers are, that's a cool tour.
yeah, I don't particularly think that this was like the double decker climbing stairs family, but they climbed the stairs, right?
Get up there.
And good Lord, that Chris, I'm sure Chris has had to smell some things being behind Tammy and Amy.
Oh,
Can you even imagine? Yeah.
I mean, I've been to low tide before, so I can imagine.
What the fuck is low tide?
Low tide on the beach. Where there's
Oh,
like-
where all the stinky stuff
yeah,
is?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Low tide at the pier.
But she didn't give up, and she even though there was a small crowd of people behind her, she still made it up the steps. Okay, and I mean,
Boy.
as a person who was big, very very big once, like I felt a sense of triumph because that shit hurts. Like skinny people don't realize that when fat people have to climb stairs, it hurts. Like it really really hurts. You don't want to fall because you know how that can be, but it physically hurts us to climb stairs and things like that. So she did it. She didn't cry. She didn't cuss. She didn't do any of that kind of shit. So as they're doing the tour, I guess they passed by Big Ben and Amy, because she's the smartest chick in the chicken coop. She concludes in her head that Big Ben is via a relationship between the Queen of England and Ben Franklin.
I don't think they know that England has any history before Queen Victoria. I don't think they even know that there
James-
was anything before that.
James, these are the same people who think they are related to the Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Amy, you know, she sees some of the guards and things like that. And she's like, I love a British man, with her horrible British accent.
Ugh.
And so in her talking head, she's like, you know, these British men are looking good. And she's like, I'm single, ready to mingle. I just want to know if you want to fill her my Pringle. What the fuck is a Pringle? Like, okay, is it one
Well, I think she
Pringle?
actually meant the chip.
I don't know. Like, is she
Actually
like,
food.
is the Pringle supposed to represent her vagina? Because to me, that's not a Pringle. You're going to need two Pringles if you're going to use it.
Yeah, you put them together to
Yeah, and I just have a feeling with just like some of the stuff that Amy wears, you're going to need two Pringles and some dip.
She creates like 2 or 3 or 4
I think
Pringles
so,
with half
too.
the shit that she wears.
And I was just like, oh, God, girl. So while they're out touring London, Tammy is kind of smart. Like her mom said that she graduated early. She graduated at the top of her class and she graduated with honors
In Kentucky,
in Kentucky. Okay.
in a small town
In a
in
small town
Kentucky.
in Kentucky. Now, but there are times that it's clear that she has way more sense that
Yeah.
she's up there. She's very far from Amy, right?
Yes.
But then she goes to London and she sees this cute chicken. And so I'm like, "Where's the chicken at?" Because I see this pigeon over here, but I don't see a fucking chicken.
This gray chicken over here.
Yeah, she's like, it's just so cute. She's like, I don't think we have pigeons in Kentucky, but bitch, we have pigeons in all kinds of books that we've seen. So it's actually Amy, surprisingly, who says, no, that's a pigeon. So then Amy's like, oh, okay, I've heard of pigeons. I've heard that they're dangerous and you can die if you eat their poop. Bitch, you'll die if you eat any animal's poop. Chicken poop, camel poop, dog poop, human poop.
How does that even come up? Like, I never look at a new animal and go, wow, look at that animal. I wish I could eat its poop.
Or you never look at an animal and say, hey, I wonder, will that particular bird's poop kill me? I know that bird's poop will, but I'm not sure about that one.
I'm pretty sure that one won't because I tried
Yeah,
it.
it's like I don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe she saw that there's something extra with pigeons poop. I don't know. Maybe someone from New York, because y'all have so many pigeons, y'all can tell us, like, is there something going on with pigeon
Please,
poop?
inquiring minds want to know.
Yes. So they stop for a traditional British meal. And look, I'm going to tell you, I myself, and I'm big country from Texas, and my husband likes I said my husband, like, you're not my husband. Producer James likes all kinds of foods because he's traveled, all over the world. Conveniently before he met me, so I haven't gotten to go any places.
You still don't have a passport.
Whatever. Why do you need a passport when you ain't going nowhere to pass it to? What the fuck? I'm not passing through any ports. Why do I need a passport? Okay. It's free to drive down to Galveston. All I need is my driver's license if I get stopped. So anywho, they go for so anyway, I've had some traditional British meals. And when I go in there to order my food, I try to pick the most non-traditional British meal that they have. Like, I usually will create myself a meal. Okay, they've got sausage links. I like a good sausage link. I'll take a sausage link. I like baked beans. Those not the kind, but I can fuck with a baked bean, just throw a little bit of salt on there. And I can do a mashed potato. So when I go to a British place, that is what I fucking do. Nothing else, like that green pea looking shit. I don't know. They ended up getting a Scottish meat pie.
So here's what they did. I guarantee you, production went around and found a place, probably on the East End, that did traditional pie and mash, which is
Yes.
a meat pie, mashed potatoes,
Yes.
and parsley sauce, which they call liquor.
That is exact. Is it green?
Yeah, it's green.
Yeah.
It's parsley sauce. And they probably had jellied eels too at that place, but I didn't see them order that. But that's what all they went was just to a old school pie and mash shop. That's it.
Well, this is one time I'm going to agree with them. That looked like fucking shit.
Oh no,
like
pie and
it
mash
looked
is good.
horrible. They were like, ain't no butter on these taters. This just tater ain't no butter. I agree. I need a lot of butter on my mashed potatoes. Okay. And if there's something that's going to be green on my plate next to my damn mashed potatoes, it better be sweet peas, not fucking parsley. What? Parsley what?
It's parsley sauce. Parsley
No.
sauce.
I don't even think there's a need for parsley other than if I want a little color in a meal, I'll put some parsley flakes in there, but I don't want something made out of parsley. That's like having something made out of fucking celery. That is just it. So they had to add the Kentucky fool about however the food tastes, but this one time I agree with them. So
Well, these are people that ate white chocolate Alfredo.
I'd rather have the white chocolate Alfredo than what they had on their plates. So anywho, they finally meet up with their British genealogist.
Because they just have to be related to somebody special.
At this point, Chris is like, I'm just happy we're meeting with this genealogist so they can tell us that we are indeed not related to the Queen of England. Okay. He's basically, I'm just ready for them to shut the fuck up about this Queen of England shit. Bring on the genealogist, right? So what they do find out is that their ninth great grandfather,
Yep. 9 times great.
9 times great grandfather was a knight.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, wow, Chris is about to go fucking to a night shop and get a night costume to wear.
And here's the worst part. Your ninth great grandfather is probably in like, I think 1500s.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't wearing suits of armor back then like that. That kind of stopped. They just
Anywho,
heard night, and that's all they know.
when I hear night, that's what I know. So that's what I picture in my head. So again, I'm agreeing with them.
Okay,
So
Elton John is a knight. Okay, Sir Elton John.
those the new nights.
That's like Gladys Knights.
Yeah, those the new nights. Like, oh man, you won 9 Grammys. Here, you're a knight. Oh, you sang the songs of, what is it? The Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Music. You're fucking Julie Andrews. You're a dame. Like they just it's a
Just throw 'em
celebrity.
around like they're nothing
Yeah,
now.
that you're just a celebrity. You just can't be black. Anyways,
Okay, I gotta look and see if there's any black
I
knights.
don't think there are.
Go ahead,
So,
babe.
anyways, they found out that he was a knight. And then they also found out that his name was John Clark, and he was one of the pilots on the Mayflower.
Okay.
Like even the genealogist says, look, this does not happen very often where we found out that someone actually was, of some status, you know what I mean? Because to be a pilot, the navigator, I think he was second in command, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, oh my gosh, our grandfather 9 times rolled over or whatever it is was,
9 times rolled over.
as Amy put, he was navigating, looking at the stars to get here. And of course, in my head, all I hear is, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us, in my Denzel Washington voice.
Well, here's a little bit of trivia.
Okay,
So
I
the
want to hear
first-
this. I'm waiting to hear.
So the first black recipient of a knighthood,
And the first and the last.
no, his name was William Conrad Reeves,
Okay.
and he was knighted by Queen Victoria
Okay. Ooh.
this was the previous one,
Okay.
on the 28th of January, 1889.
Okay.
So it only took him 1,800 years
To knight a
basically,
black person.
To knight a black guy.
And so when was the last time one was knighted?
I didn't look that far.
Because you don't have to look far. Okay. I put it this way. They easily give out all these knightships to people like Elton John, Sean Connery, members of the Beatles. They gave Seal one.
Mhm.
I think Seal, it would be, well, okay, go ahead.
Lewis Hamilton was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II.
The trumpet player?
No.
Oh, that's Louis Armstrong.
Oh my God.
Okay, what did this guy do?
I don't know, but he was knighted in 2020.
So don't no black people know him.
No.
Because exactly my point. Like, I think Michael Jackson should have been knighted.
Oh, well, he's also the first he's a biracial.
I knew
dude.
I knew he didn't have full blood
He was
African descent.
He's a driver. He's like a Formula One driver.
Wait, what's his name again? Oh,
Lewis Hamilton.
did he used to date the girl who was the lead singer of the Pussycats?
Ooh, I don't know. Let me check.
I think that's him.
Possibly.
Okay, anyway, while producer James is looking that up. So they go to, of course, you have to have high tea. Okay, like you have to, when you go to different places, you have to do like the most American nice thing that we know. So, you go for high tea. So that's what they do. So Amy and her dumbass, everyone else is like, oh, I would like chamomile tea. Oh, I like ginger tea. She's like, I take a soda. And then she puts honey in it. And Tammy's like, she just has to be fucking different, right? So, their big gritty asses. And once again, I kind of agree with them. Chris is like, well, I know if we had these sandwiches back home, I know what I do with them. Be pulled pork, bologna. And then they're like, extra mayonnaise, Hellman's in fact. Yeah, that's what, pulled pork, rib meat, all of this. I'm just like, I swear these people are black sometimes. Shit that they say.
He was dating Nicole
Scherzinger. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I see.
Look at that.
But we don't really claim him like that.
No.
Because he don't really claim being black that much. Here's the thing.
But he's a knight.
Let me crack my
She's cracking her
knuckles.
knuckles for this one.
A little bit of African
That's
American
coming through the mic.
history. So here's the thing with mixed race people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I've talked about this before, but sometimes we've been getting new listeners. So if you're half black and you're half white, we fuck with you. We fuck with you a little bit more if you give more credit to your black side. Because we don't want to be oppressed all the time. Okay? Same. You got nappy ass blonde hair and blue eyes, but you're like, yeah, I can still say the N-word. We let that slide. This is where we stop sliding. This is where we stop sliding at. If you are a half black, half white person, and you go on to marry a white person, hands thrown up.
You've double whited.
Because you're trying to fuck all the black out of the family. We don't like that. We don't. We start looking at you sideways. We're like,
Or if you're half black and half Samoan, and all you talk about is being Samoan.
Which we had
Dwayne
that conversation, Dwayne Johnson. We had that conversation this weekend because we watched his new movie, Red One, and his production company, which is called $7, but the emblem for it is a Samoan face, of course. Well, why couldn't have no afro? It could have been the Samoan face with the fucking afro. Like, give representation of both sides. He like really wishes that he could not claim the black side of his face. I'm like convinced that he is not. I'm like, where do you think you get your muscles from? Because Samoans be like flabby big. Black people be like muscular big. That's all I'm saying, The Rock. One day when we meet, we gonna sit down and talk about this because I need you to do better. That's all I'm saying. But we love white people over here. Even let them live in a house with us. So, of course, and I would do this too. So they found out that there's this place called the Mayflower, and that's where their relative who navigated the Mayflower, John Clark, this is where he drank at and where he ate at. So they go there as a family. They're going to have a meal. Clearly, they did not Google search this fucking place well at all because the building is old and crickety as hell, and the bar is on the bottom and the restaurant is on the top. Now, I got to give it to Tammy because this was a fucking struggle. Like, there's barely any room. Like, they're very small, steep steps because back then people were just fucking small. Like, they never thought we would evolve to be as big as we are now. So have you ever seen like a cartoon movie where it's an elephant, like a cartoon elephant, and like the human or like the other, like the friends of the elephant who are other animals are trying to get the elephant inside of like a vehicle?
Yes.
That was this scene right here because Chris really had to push up, and I had to give it to Tammy. Like, I would have given up, but she did not give up, and she was in pure pain. Chris had to be too, but he's like really like having to push her up, but it's so small, like you have to turn and go to the next set of stairs. Like, I've been there before and it hurts so bad. And so she gets to the top. She's done. She's done. Her face is completely red. She's crying in pain. And my heart went out to her 100% because how many times did we go somewhere and I would just be in pure pain because I'm like, I've walked too far. I don't even know how I'm going to get back. Like, I've walked up these stairs. I have to sit down for the next 5 hours. Like, It's just bad. So she's upset, but she's not acting, surprisingly, not acting a
not very
fool.
Tammy-like.
Huh?
Not
acting very Tammy-like. No. So she's upset. She's crying. And then Amy's pissed off. Well, y'all should look this up better. Y'all should have known it was theirs. How come they didn't make it for handicapped people? Because they made it for not handicapped people when it wasn't the law where you had to make shit for handicapped.
Yeah, because it was built in the 1600s.
They should have known better. They should have had an elevator or this.
No one got that fat back then. Wasn't enough
They
food.
didn't, yeah. So she's acting a fool. Literally everyone at the table has their head down with their hand cupped over their face. Because never mind, there's a whole camera crew here. So everyone's staring at you anyway. We just saw your 450-pound sister go upstairs. Like, Tammy said there's people were staring at her.
Oh,
so,
sure.
It's just, it's an overall overwhelming feeling, I'm sure, to even have these many people just looking at you, right?
Right.
So Amy's acting a fool. Amanda's like, quit acting like a baby. You need to simmer down. And what does she do? Always, I'm leaving with the one eye that kind of works and the other eye that don't work at all. And I'm in a fucking foreign country. I tell you what, you take me to a foreign country. I don't care if you beat my ass in the street. I'm walking home with you because you're not about to have me out here getting kidnapped overseas. No, I don't care. You can even tell me I can't come back to the hotel with you. I'm holding on to both of your back pockets. Like you are taking me. We can discuss this beat down later. But you are not leaving me out here. You know I can't read no map. I know they speak English, but it ain't the kind of English I speak, okay? Like I do not know where I am. I am confused. I have 2 black eyes. I need guidance. So there she goes. She storms out of the fucking restaurant.
To where?
Down the fucking street, and Chris is like, "Oh my god, fine, I'll go get her." Like he
just knows he has to go get her.
Do you just let your blind sister to roam the fucking streets of London?
I would want to see how far she got.
Not far. She never gets far. She makes it to like a stop sign because she can see the color red.
She's like a kid who runs away from home,
but not
makes it
never
only
far.
As far as the first block.
And she's like, "I'm done with the family. I'm done this time. I'm for real. I mean it. I'm done." So Chris is like, "Where are you going?" "I don't know. I'm done." He's like, "You look, come on back here. We're not about to do this." So, when food gets to calling,
she come running.
Yeah, I do too.
Sort of.
You remind me that there's food in that pub. I'm going back. So she gets up there. No one says anything about her total meltdown. They literally don't acknowledge it at all. I think this is the scene where they're talking about fucking olives. They're like, "Well, why don't these have pits in them?" Bitch, because there's different types of olives. Okay. Then one is like, "These don't taste like the green ones that we have in the refrigerator." Yeah, because those are poor people olives.
Because why? Because you're poor and white.
Poor and white. There you go.
Your olives too, no flavor.
Yeah, so that is actually the end of the episode. I think the following episode is going to be the season finale, and we're going to find out if Chris gets his skin removal surgery. So I'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
It's the Libra Lounge. The Libra Lounge. Ooh.